I just tapped my husband's face, and his face instantly became unbearably itchy. Then his hands uncontrollably scratched like crazy. I quickly grabbed his wrist, but after a while he calmed down, only for the itching to return. Terrified, I had to tightly hold his hands until he fell into a deep sleep, and I turned off the light to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I was shocked to find my husband's hands covered in blood, and his face was also full of scratches. Before I could react, my husband suddenly woke up from his sleep, but strangely, he had no memory of what happened last night. I hurriedly treated his wounds, and then he rushed out to work in a panic. At first, I didn't think much of it, but as I walked toward the kitchen to make breakfast, I suddenly noticed blood footprints on the floor. What was worse, the blood trail led all the way to the bedroom. Frightened, I immediately followed the blood trail into the bedroom and found our dog hiding under the bed as if it had experienced something terrifying the night before. So that night, I put cotton gloves on my husband to prevent him from scratching himself again. But in the middle of the night, he suddenly got up strangely and walked mechanically into the kitchen, where he began swallowing raw chunks of meat from the fridge, even eating eggs with the shells on. I rushed to stop him, but he acted as if he was being controlled and couldn't be stopped. This scene made me immediately feel nauseous, but the terrifying events didn't end there. Soon, my husband suddenly appeared behind me, and without saying a word, he started drinking water directly from the faucet. This shocked our dog, who began barking loudly, but that wasn't the most terrifying part. When I followed him into the bedroom, I saw my husband opening the window preparing to jump. Terrified, I rushed over and pulled him back inside. Only when his head hit the ground did he finally wake up. But strangely, he had no memory of what had just happened. To figure out what was going on, the next day, I took my husband to the hospital for a checkup. The doctor said my husband might be suffering from sleepwalking, which explained why he was doing dangerous things in his sleep. But with proper treatment, it could be cured quickly. The first thing we did when we got home was lock away all the dangerous knives in the house and installed safety nets on the windows. Then I made sure he took his medicine before going to bed. The next day, when I saw my husband still asleep in bed, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. But unexpectedly, when I got up to wash up, I found the living room in complete disarray. Realizing something was wrong, I quickly opened the refrigerator door and was instantly frozen in shock. Our dog had been frozen to death inside the fridge,